Hello everybody, well this is my PvP tier list for the mobs. This is version 2.0. There's some changes between the first one, of course after playing quite a lot more of Minecraft Legends. So let's take a look. Alright, so yeah, let's start from the bottom and up. First of brick, first of Diorite. I don't even see them used in any game that I play. I try to use them myself, again because of the spawn, initial spawn of the Diorite, which again really doesn't add, the Golem doesn't really add anything by itself, so I found it very lacking. The brick with his the ability to guard make it less useful, especially when the meta now is bringing lots of mobs and basically the damage is kind of a spread between the allies, and with Mossy Golem you really don't find you know, a need to actually bring it into battle. Now when it comes to warriors, that too costly, that probably don't justify to actually use them. When it comes to first of oak, again because it's kind of a, you know, a sniper like, and the meta right now is again is lots of enemies. Again, unless you put it strategically in a place to just snipe, you know, maybe some piglins to help you out, or maybe some players roaming around, you really don't feel like you are getting lots of value. Honestly, being several of them, especially when it comes to attacking bases, it just feels lacking. Now regarding the zombie, this is one of the more durable units. I mean, it can die 15 hits from arrow tower compared to, for example, to the Cobblestone Golem that dies from 10 hits. And for example, Plank Golem that dies from 2 hits from an arrow tower. It's very durable. So again, you find it can be very good defensive wise, but when it comes to attacks, again, it's all about dealing damage to structure. You find that, well, it's lacking compared to the others. So again, it's something in the middle ground, and probably where maybe more units will be added, or some balancing will take place, the meta will change, and I will probably find it much more useful. Though the creepers, I still consider them very, very good units, especially protecting against a redstone launcher or big enemies, or a large group of enemies trying to hammer your walls. Because again, although they are consumed once they trigger their attack, they deal a massive damage, and basically it's very hard to counter them. You can just send them, for example, towards a redstone launcher, and well, basically they just ignore anything and just explode the redstone launcher, taking it off. So again, because they are very hard to counter, because they can just deal with some really troubles very, very fast and accurately, they're very, very good minions overall. Although keep in mind they have the advantages, because again, once you use them, they are gone. So they kind of more utility for certain situations, more situational type of unit. But overall, they're very good. You can also combine them with other units, like when you want to breach into walls, just send them first and then the other. So really kind of a various way to actually use them. Although players prefer having you know, more permanent ones to stay on the battlefield and just continue harassing the enemies in different locations. And that's why the Cobblestone Golems are very, very good, especially with Mossy Golem, that you can actually make them stay on the battlefield longer by healing them throughout. Then Plank Golems are good for protecting your base, especially when enemies are coming in. You want to eliminate the enemies, because if your opponents, the will players, control the army, if you take them out, they don't control the army anymore. You also prevent them from actually going back and spawning more, and it can be very good, especially if they're running away and you're running with them, to kind of catch players trying to run away. Whether compared to melee that just need to catch up, and they usually never catch up. And they're also very good protecting redstone launchers. So again, because I found them very useful in those situations, to protect me with a redstone launcher, and in the base to take out enemies, and even running after enemies to really hit them with those kind of, let's say, mobile arrow towers, little mobile arrow towers, found them to be useful, and that's why they go up. But again, they have their disadvantages, especially compared to the meta, but still very good units overall, and that's why they go up in rank. Well, the first of Tonwit was actually in C. Tier C actually jumps into tier A, and this makes the, after testing it a lot, the first of stone is absolutely amazing. The cool thing is that, again, although it takes the Cobblestone Golem some time to eliminate even a single wall, if you bring it to the masses, the first of stone can do it with just 2 hits. And basically it allows you to surprise, get for example a breach, and even maneuver again to another place. And if you combine it of course with other golems to protect them from getting damage and mossy, you can really breach through quite easily through enemies' defenses. This is let alone if you bring more than one, like 2 and 3, you become close to unstoppable force. This, by the way, can be good even as a defensive measure if you want some strong golems to be able to quickly prevent redstones from actually being placed, and or maybe it's already walled and as protection, so you want to quickly go in and just destroy everything fast. And considering the long cooldown that the redstone launcher has, you will have a lot of time to actually react. Keep in mind that it's by themselves, they might not be good. Again, need protection. They can be quite squishy, but again, they can hit from a bit far, so something to keep in mind. The Skeleton and the Grindstone Golem still maintain a very, very good overall units, especially if you bring in quite a bit with the masses. They can reduce damage with the Grindstone, and the Skeletons are great whether you want to harass the base with just hitting from a bit far, especially in an area that's not protected well yet. You can put them also in the castle so they can actually eat enemies coming and knocking on your walls. But just hiding them behind walls, especially if it's stone walls and double or triple walls, so they can deal damage without actually waiting for the enemy to breach in order to hit them compared to other units. Well, when it comes to Mossy Golems, the Cobblestone Golem, they still maintain their position. Mossy Golem is just crazily good because it can really support well and making sure your other units survive, especially if you come with masses of Cobblestone Golems, which are really very, very strong meta now because they're good for harassing, they're good for breaching, they're good, really, really good overall units to kind of, giving you a condition to actually win the game. You can combine them well with other units, again just breach in and then do other things with other units while they can actually protect your units by just observing damage. If you bring them in the masses, they're very cheap to make, you can get them very, very early on. The damage is very good against structures, and yeah, overall they are right now the top of the meta, and that's why they are in S+ tier. Again, Mossy Golem great and supporting your other allies. And this is it. This is my PvP mob tier list. And if you, by the way, have a different opinion, let me know in the comments section below based on your experience, which one you think should be maybe higher or lower in the tier list. And please explain why. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.